Hi guys, welcome back to Metien Vlogs. Today I'm going to give you tips and tricks of how to pass French exam level B1, B2. This is based on my experience doing the exams here in France, but definitely it is applicable to any other country as long as it's level B1, B2 of the French exam. Stay tuned to this video, let's pass those exams. So first of all, let me tell you the parts of the exams so that you know what to expect, and then each and every step I'm going to tell you what helped me and what can help you as well. The first part is listening. You go, you get into a room with so many people, you're seated and there are speakers around you, alright? Then they put a certain, let's say, conversation between two people, or maybe a teacher teaching, a doctor and a patient, maybe in the bakery, or any scenario that is in real life, okay? So you listen to this conversation and take note that you listen only once. So you have to be very, very attentive because they will not play it again, and once it's gone, you are expected to answer your questions. So the thing is, you listen and then you have a paper with multiple choices that they ask you. Maybe, for example, a doctor was talking to a patient and then the patient explained the disease they had. So they ask you, which disease did this patient have? So there are multiple A, B, C, D. You choose A, B, or C. You just tick one of them. In case you make a mistake, you tick the correct one and you circle whichever of the two that is correct. Alright? So they will give you all these instructions in the beginning before you do the exam. But remember that it's only once, so you have to be attentive. And they usually start easy. Of course, they start easy with a conversation between two friends, and then it gets harder with time. The more the questions, the harder it gets. So make sure that you maximize on the easy ones. Don't just think everything is going to be easy, so you just play around. Make sure that you maximize on the easy ones so that the hard ones, when they come, even if you don't get all of them, at least you got maximum points in the first ones. The second part of the exam is comprehension. This is whereby you're given a paper that has a text written. Maybe it's something written about the situation in France about COVID-19, or just think about any scenario that can be written down. And there are very many of these texts. It's not only one scenario. So they will give you several, almost like 10 of them. So they will give you 45 minutes for all the 10 comprehension texts, and each one has a certain number of questions. So again, it starts easy and then it gets harder and harder and harder. So the trick here is start with the easiest, but don't waste a lot of time. You see, because the easiest you can easily read, you see, it's talking about COVID, this is this and this and this, you answer the questions and you move. Because once the 45 minutes are over and you go to the next point, you will not have enough time to come and to reread. If you've read a comprehension and you have not understood it, don't waste your time trying to figure out. Just move to the next one and try to tackle the ones you understand. Then when you have extra time, you can come back to the ones that you didn't understand. So this is the second part, the comprehension part. It also has multiple choices. So basically a text, a question coming from the text, and some answers. And some of them are a little bit tricky, like they just don't ask you directly. Maybe they say something and they put a negation note, and then they ask you with a negation. So you have to know it's the opposite. The answer is the opposite of what was written in the text. So again, be attentive. Don't waste your time reading so much in the beginning. If you can't understand a comprehension, move on to the next one. Save the hard ones for last. The third part of the exam is writing. Writing has around 2 or 3 scenarios. There are not so many, and also the minutes are around 30 to 25. So basically they tell you, write about a holiday that you had with your friends, or write about your dream career. So they may mix professional and casual events in your life. So when you're writing, they make sure that if it's something professional, use the professional language. You know that in France, there's a casual language between you and your friends and your family, and then there's the professional between you and, say, a doctor, something official. So if they've told you to write an official letter, make sure you stick to the official regulations. If it's a friendly letter, make sure you stick to that. Another thing is make sure that you take care of the punctuations. You know that in France you have all these accents, accent aigu, accent what. They are very, very important. They actually will take a lot of points from your mark if you do not take care of these accents. Take care of the tense. There's present tense, past tense, future tense, you know, future approach, just near, like going to happen soon. So they usually want you to mix all these things. When you're writing a composition, they want to ensure that you are aware of the tense you're speaking in. This is going to help them to give you a mark. The other point that is very important, if they ask you to write between 45 and 50 words, make sure you count your words and it's 45 and 50. Because if you go below, they will going to deduct you points. If you go after, they're going to deduct you points. And usually they tell you, write about your holiday and make sure you mention maybe the foods you ate, the activities you did. So be sure that you are answering all these questions, because they don't just want you to write, you know, anyhowly. So you may have some extra stories, but first of all, answer the questions that they have asked you before you bring in these other extra stories you want to write. So the last part of the French exam B1, B2 is the oral. This is whereby you will be speaking to a teacher one-on-one, just the two of you. They will isolate you in a particular room, and then you will be having 3 sections. So when you enter the room, of course, there's the greetings, salutations. You will say hello, hello, and remember this is a professional setting because it's between teacher and student. Say your greetings in a professional way, and then the teacher will ask you, will tell you everything about the exam. They will tell you, you're going to speak, I'm going to record you, you're supposed to choose a topic here and here and here. So the first conversation will basically be, what's your name, where do you come from, you know, basically knowing each other with the professor. But this one is still tested. Then after you've known each other and you've talked a little bit about you know, what is going on around the world at that point in time, then they will give you topics to choose. So the first topic will basically be a scenario. You play a scenario. Maybe the professor will be a doctor and you'll be a patient. And then you have that conversation as if you're going to talk to a doctor, alright? So in this case, they don't give you time to think about it. They just say, assume you're going to talk to a doctor, you are sick. So let's go, alright? So you speak, and then there's a third part where they may give you something to read and to explain, or they might just tell you, speak about your relocation to France, maybe how was it, alright? So make sure if they have asked you to speak about something that happened in the past tense, speak in the past tense. But this is to encourage you that in case you forget, remember this is not perfection. They just want to know that can you hold a conversation in case you're stuck somewhere. Can you hold a conversation? So even if you're not able to capture and to remember the exact tense, just make sure you're speaking, you're not shy, you're even asking questions, because asking questions is part of the conversation with the professor. So the trick with the orals is feel free, don't feel shy, whether you know too much or you know too little, speak once what you know. Ask questions. When you don't understand, ask questions. And the professors are very nice because they even help you. In case you don't remember a name and you can speak, let's say, English and French, you say, you know the name in English. You can say, je ne sais pas le nom en français, mais je connais en anglais. And then you start, you know, you act like, c'est quoi le nom? Then he or she will even help you. So the thing is, they're not trying to make sure that this person is perfect, is a perfectionist. No, they're trying to make sure that if you get yourself in such a scenario, you can survive and you can pass through the scenario. So guys, I hope this was helpful. If you're going to sit for your B1, B2 exam, I wish you all the very best, and I hope that the points I shared are going to help you in one way or the other. Feel free to ask me questions in the comment section. Like this video to encourage me to bring you many more videos, and of course, subscribe to be able to get more videos in future. Thank you for joining me. See you in the next one. Bye bye.